This time, our theme is no longer personal success, but the sacred boundary and awe for life. In that era when diseases were blamed on the anger of the gods, how did he use observation and reason to light the first lamp for human dignity? Imagine living in a world where getting sick was a punishment from the gods. If you had a fever, people said an invisible spirit was angry with you. If you were in pain, you went to a temple, not a doctor. You would pray, you would offer gifts, and you would wait for a miracle.
But then one man stood up and said, "No."
He looked at the human body not as a playground for ghosts, but as a masterpiece of nature. He believed that every illness had a natural cause. He was a man who spent his life listening to the silent language of the pulse and the breath. Today, we are talking about the father of medicine, Hippocrates. Who was the man who taught us that the greatest healing power is already inside us? And how can his ancient wisdom help you find balance in your own hectic life? Hippocrates was born around 460 BC on the beautiful Greek island of Kos. He was born into a family of healers, but he wanted to change everything. He traveled across the ancient world, from the mountains of Greece to the shores of Egypt. He didn't bring magic spells or secret potions. He brought a small notebook and a pair of very sharp eyes. He would sit by the bed of a sick person for days, just watching. He watched the color of their skin, the way they slept, and the way they breathed. He was the first to practice clinical observation. In a time of loud rituals, he chose the power of silence and patience. He famously wrote, "Nature cures. The physician is only the assistant." He taught his students that the body always tries to heal itself. The doctor's job was not to fight nature, but to give it the space and the rest it needed to recover. But his greatest contribution wasn't just science, it was character. He looked at his students and told them that being a healer was a sacred duty. He created the Hippocratic Oath, a promise that doctors still take today, thousands of years later. He taught that a doctor must be honest, calm, and, above all, never do harm.
"First, do no harm," he said.
He lived through the Great Plague of Athens, a time of total chaos and death. While others ran away in fear, Hippocrates stayed. He used his powers of observation to notice that blacksmiths, men who worked near fire, seemed to stay healthy. He used this small detail to help fight the spread of the disease. He died in the city of Larissa at a very old age, leaving behind a world that finally understood its own body. Think about your own internal balance. We live in a world that sells us instant cures for everything. Pills for sleep, drinks for energy, and apps for happiness. We treat ourselves like machines that need to be fixed as fast as possible. But Hippocrates reminds us that we are part of nature. He shows us that health is not just the absence of disease, it is the presence of harmony. He taught us that everything in excess is opposed to nature. Too much work, too much worry, or even too much of a good thing can break our peace. Maybe the cure you are looking for today isn't a secret solution. Maybe it is just a bit of rest, a bit of quiet, and the courage to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. In the comments today, let's be as honest as a physician's record. What is one way you have been pushing yourself too hard lately? How can you give your own nature more space to breathe and heal this week? Tell me your story. Every time you feel out of step with the world, remember the old man on the island of Kos. You are a self-healing miracle in progress. Trust the wisdom of your own design. Consistency and balance are your superpowers. If you value the deep, honest struggle over the fast shortcut, join us at Better Me English. Which part of Hippocrates' quiet wisdom gave you the most clarity today? I will be waiting for you in the comments. Stay bold, stay honest, and honor your own nature.
Oh, Hippocrates, the father of the healing art, separating myth and truth, science from the start, with the willow bark and patience, a calm and steady hand, a calm and steady hand. First, do no harm, the greatest vow across the land.